This is this is the dollar sign billionaire dollar sign the entertainment zone. The dollar sign billionaire dollar sign the entertainment zone. The entertainment zone. Free content on the way each and every month. Subscribe, like, and comment with positive views. No negative views is possible because that would may just be a race of my name. This is a positive channel as possible as now. Today I'm going to talk about what's it like, what it's like living in New York. Since a child has grown up as an adult. As a child growing up in New York, started out in Queens. I come from Queens, New York, the place to be. I've been in Jamaica as an older person. I like the area somewhat. I've been on Jamaica Avenue. I've been in Hillside, Fresh Meadows. I've been in Forest Hills. I've been in Gaia Brew, Rochdale area. I've been in many areas. I've also been in Far Rockaway and such areas of New York. So yeah, I've been in Queens where I come from. I've had my troubles there, but I ain't talking about that. They got nice places sometimes. Not at sometime, but there's areas to go good and shop in Jamaica Avenue in Jamaica Avenue area. You got your clothing areas. You got like Jimmy Jazz. I remember Dr. J's. As far as I remember, I'm not there out there now, but exactly. But you got Dr. J's, Jimmy Jazz. You got VIM. You got Foot Locker. You got a lot of those stores, and they got some nice little things over there in Jamaica. I've shopped a lot of times over there. Not bad. Pretty well. I get a decent pricing. And I even worked over there in the Avenue for a couple of stores. It's all right. I wouldn't probably really work over that area again, but it's alright for the time I worked over there. I've also been around all the boroughs from Staten Island, Bronx, and all of that. Little story to take that. But yeah, well, not exactly another day. But yeah, so I come from Queens. I've been around all the other boroughs. Manhattan, you got Statue of Liberty. I've seen it up close on a speedboat I was on, called the Alligator in the Hudson River area. I've been in the Empire State Building. I've been all across Manhattan. I've been on some of the shows over there. It was the Christmas Spectacular. That was a good one. I liked it. Did like this little show they did. It was Santa and young kids and people just we hop. It was just funny. It was funny, fun, and all that. It's definitely a blast. There's a lot of things on Manhattan. I've been around Manhattan, Times Square, seen all the TVs up there and the marketing, and been to Madison Square Garden multiple times for wrestling, music, all type of stuff. Also been to Brooklyn. The Barclays, since I've been there, I watched for good reason, I was able to watch a box office area. The New York Knicks versus the Nets. I had Brooklyn Nets, and I had a good experience watching that. I remember during that time when the Chinese guy was there. He left that same year. It's good watching them. It was played a good thing. I was in the box office area. It was just cool. Also, I've been to Staten Island as working and just being around the area. I thought it was a junky area in Staten Island. It's like the KFC area over there. The place just looked like a junk pile out there in Staten Island, but it's still clean up areas, but just like, I don't know, it just looked like a dump in some sense. I've been to Brooklyn, yes, Barclays Center, Flatbush, Coney Island. I've been there. Got on all the most rides. Been to the beach. Worked out over there one time too. It was fun. Met some ladies and things over there. What else? So I've also been to the Bronx. The Bronx. It was fun. It was cool being up over there. At times at the Bronx. Bronx. Hey. Mostly mainly the Bronx. We don't even much need to store the Bronx, they shop here and whatever. That's Manhattan. Also, I've shopped in Harlem, where I know a lot of rappers like Cameron, P Diddy and Mace and a lot of stars. There's also like who passed away, that rapper DMX, and those who such the history of Harlem. I lived out in Harlem sometimes as a young kid. I was alright there. I ain't was much fun. It was just been the park area as I've seen today. It's just nothing changed. That park is still there as it's been there long been. The place where I used to live is still up. They just renovated it. Still looks good. Whatever it was I known of. Yeah, so have I seen stars? I've seen some stars here and there. Wrestlers have areas. I've seen uh, TV stars. TV stars like what do you call it? TV stars in a Lamborghini. I've seen I've seen some things with stars. Some people not major like The Rock or either like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. Or Stella Beef. No, I never seen none of that. I seen Miss McMahon and some. Before as we retired, I got to see him. And Hulk Hogan. And I seen The Rock. And I seen John Cena. I may have seen Roman Reigns up front. I'm not sure. Mostly was wrestlers. I seen Chris Brown before. Yeah, Chris Brown. I seen Trey Songz. I seen Young Jeezy before in the club. Both and Chris Brown and Trey Songz all at the same club. That closed down was Club Perfection. I've seen them before. Out in Queens, I was. Yeah. So I seen. I could also. I was gonna go to Rock the Bells, LL Cool J's concert, but I couldn't make it. This was my time, I guess. But I know Rick Ross, Lil Kim, so many stars with their singers. Gonna be there in Forest Hills, at the Forest Hills Stadium. Just didn't make it, but I think it was there. That would have been fun, but yeah. I did other things, so yeah, New York and all that. So, New York, living in it, it's got some fun things you can do at times. You go to big events and stadiums. The stadium is probably the most, like a Barclays Center and Madison Square Garden. Want to call on the rides for some, it's just fun. Get on the rides, enjoy the nice scenery of the beach, right at the Coney Island ride area. As I've been there a couple of times. You got things you can do in Manhattan, you can do in Queens, Bronx. This is a little something here and there you can do. The ladies out here are okay here at times, and it's the crazy ones, but those who are cool. They say what's up, conversation, things work out, things go good. Guys out here, just crazy people out here, definitely got to keep an eye and watchful. Make sure you're safe out in New York City. And then it's the cool people who be a helpful hand. They'll hold a bus for you. They'll talk to you. They'll be there. There's guys cool, and there's those you're like what? So everybody's not bad out in New York City for women and men. You get a good education out here from New York University, Columbia University. You also got multiple other community colleges. Mercy College, Mega Evers, I believe, MCNY, you got ASA, you got TSI, TCI. Yeah, definitely a lot of colleges out here. Queens College, John Jay, Rooch, yeah. You got, what else is like, man? You got things, like I said, you can do. The alligator should still be out there in Manhattan as in the summer. Last time it was like $30 for like a 30-minute ride. What else is out there? Manhattan, New York. Shop is good. If you go Columbus Circle down to 42nd Street, you got the Rolex stores. You got Armani. You got Armani people. I think are messed up people there, like awkward, strange people who work there though. But you also got Lamborghini, a lot of hot places and areas in Queens all bought the boroughs. You can buy Lamborghinis, you can buy Ferraris, you can buy Rolls Royce, you can buy Mercedes, you can buy cars. There's people who got that money and things out here going. Uh, what else? The food out here is good. And never, you just gotta be careful what store you go to. It could be spoiled for one and then all good at another. Um, yeah, you live pretty decent in New York City. You got programs to help pay your rent. You can get a good job enough. You can pay your own rent, sure enough, yeah, your kids can go out good, but you gotta be careful who your kids hang out with, lead them to the right direction. There's crazy kids who lead your kids in the wrong direction if they ain't got their head strong to make sure that these knuckleheads out there don't lead them in the wrong direction. And just keep your kids in the right direction. I've heard a lot of people do this and that to keep their kids in a positive and not to grow up in this negative place of things and just for things to work out for their kids to grow up until they get going somewhere else, move out, go to another state and thing or country or whatever. And I can't blame them. I mean, I've seen things, a lot of things, somewhat to say so. Yeah, I mean, if you get your kids out here to be safe and grow up a better, then that's what it is. Have your daughter like pregnant at 15, 14 years old, these young people don't care. They'll do stuff like that, get your daughter pregnant, and they're not worrying that that young daughter child has a education and just being a young child, having friends, and letting her do things later down the road, and that's the way protection so that no pregnancy, messing her whole life. Now she can't go to college to. Not all can just go to college and got it like that just to make moves. Life ain't easy like that. You gotta think about your bills. You gotta think about where you're gonna live and how you're gonna get around and all these things. But if you make one move to another, you can make it right in New York. And when it's time that it ain't gonna work out, then maybe it's the best time to get going. I sometimes feel like that because I don't want to make no wrong move to be locked up for the rest of my life or in a grave because of the crazy mess that happens in New York. So, yeah, that's the life of New York and so much more. You can live in New York, but you gotta just be wise and smart how you go around in New York. And you can get somewhere and make things right. Just make things right. Just keeping it positive and making it right, man. Good luck and peace.